Hello, what's going on? Alright, I'm coming back with an update on my sidecar project. This is of course my trike 1.1 with the B2B body on it, so I wanted to bring it along to show you the size comparison. So those are the same scale of cars, of course. This is a proper sidecar with a bike on one side, one-wheel drive, and the passenger, as opposed to the B2B, which is a two-wheel drive with an axle at the back and the passenger on the opposite side. So this is of course an homage and a kind of a remake of the original Tamiya, which was from the B2B prototype, and this is a BSB, which is basically the F1 sidecar style. So that said, let's take a look. It took me a while to figure out the trike in order to make it work at speed and so on. So now this is dialed in, and I just found out how to make that guy a proper running machine. So those are now probably at similar performances on the track and similar speeds. So as you can see, I have now done my prototype body. I have still some work to do on the modeling of the driver. The passenger is pretty cool. You can see the details of his hands and everything. Sadly, he had to have his butt cut off in order to have the axle pop out. Still haven't cut the carbon axle from there because I'm still in the process of I can't speak anymore. In the process of testing, and I think once everything is finished, I'm going to figure out a way to have a much smaller nut over there in order to reduce the footprint of this coming out. So it is what it is for the moment. So as you can see, the body is in two parts, taped over the wheel wells over there and then screwed on the side here. You have of course the bike part, which is all the way straight, and driver on one side, passenger on the other side. The helmets are the same as the B2B helmets. So now let's take a look at what has changed inside, and it's pretty much nothing that has changed. I had to recut open. I would have to redesign the bumper for just the travel of the front tire. I thought the tire would be a little bit taller above the ground, but actually because it is much lower than I have to cut, so I will make a wider, a larger bumper later on. But as you can see, the bumper is a separate piece from the chassis, and it is mounted with the C-hub over here and the steering link over there, and then it holds one of the body posts over there. The other body post is meant to be over here. That's why there is a pre-made mark over here, but I have my receiver over there, so I didn't bother. I just put it directly on the rear C-hub mount over there and just pop the hole. The rear body post is attached to the suspension axle over here, the long screw that's for the suspension, so it's not moving with the pod. The pod is completely independent from the body post, so the body is really well mounted on the car. And the only thing that I have changed on the chassis itself is this guy. I added the gyro to it because I have that problem that I have similarly with my inter-system sidecar, which is that on acceleration the car tends to want to turn, and in straight line the car tends to want to go left. So you would have to hold onto the steering in the opposite direction all the time, and it makes it very tricky in some situations when you have to brake or you need to pass over someone and so on. So with the gyro now, I just go full throttle and the car goes straight, and that just solves that problem. And this way now I can just concentrate on going left and right. The braking is much more stable as well, and so very good traction all around the car, very good speed in the corners, and super predictable in the way it handles. And I think the weight balance is kind of perfect as it is now. It is very different from the way other sidecars are built. A lot of them will have the motor in the front and they will have the weight all along here. I have a lot more weight on the passenger wheel, but in my mind this mimics the actual weight of the passenger itself, and this mimics the weight that the bike engine will have over here and the pilot as well. So that was my idea when I was figuring out placements and so on. I'm still running, by the way, a Velcro tape for the Super Shorty, and I don't think I'm gonna go with a battery mount because the Velcro tape just works perfectly well. And so yeah, I'm gonna leave you on with the video of this morning run with the gyro. You're gonna see it on the track with a couple of other cars, and I think you can appreciate the difference in speed now compared to the very first test run that I did with the car. So here you go. Enjoy the video. See you. Bye bye.